You might have worked for decades, saved carefully, and still feel like wealth slips through your hands. Could it be that the very color of your front door has been silently turning prosperity away? Today, you won't just hear the old saying, "Red means luck." You'll discover the hidden codes of color, the ones rarely shared, and why one shade can make fortune stop at your neighbor's house, but not yours. A front door is like the robe of a king. If the robe radiates authority, guests arrive with respect. If it whispers of weakness, even fortune turns its face. After 20 years of reading homes from Shanghai to San Francisco, I've witnessed the same mysterious truth. When a door's color matches the house's energy, wealth doesn't knock, it walks right in. And here's the twist. Most people think it's about how beautiful the door looks from the street, but beauty alone means nothing in Feng Shui. Sometimes the most stylish color is the most dangerous. In the next few minutes, you'll learn 5 surprising truths about door colors, including one shade many Americans adore, but in Feng Shui, it quietly drains health and money. Tell me in the comments, have you ever painted your front door, and did life change afterward? I truly want to hear your story. This is Front Door Colors in Feng Shui. Which shade attracts prosperity? Let's step through that door together. Point 1. The forgotten rule. The color must serve the house, not the owner. Imagine watching a check you've been waiting for disappear. Not stolen, not misplaced, simply never arriving. What if the reason opportunity keeps passing by your house isn't in your resume, your effort, or even your timing, but in the color painted on your very front door? Most people believe the right color is the one they love most, a favorite blue, a comforting green, a bold red. But here's the forgotten rule in Feng Shui. The color must serve the house, not the owner. It's not about dressing yourself, it's about clothing the home so it can stand in harmony with its surroundings. Let me tell you a story. A family in Southern California painted their front door a soft aqua, the wife's favorite shade. At first, it seemed charming, but within months, deals that once felt secure collapsed at the very last moment. Arguments flared in the evenings. Their teenage son, usually grounded, began withdrawing, spending long hours away. One night, after yet another contract fell through, the wife hung up the phone and whispered, "That's the 3rd this month." Her husband, still with flecks of aqua paint under his nails, looked at the door and said nothing. The silence between them was heavier than the air in that hall. Why? Science offers a clue. Environmental psychology tells us that color shapes not just mood, but motivation. Cool blues calm the nervous system, excellent for a bedroom, but not for a front door that must welcome energy, ambition, and opportunity. The very paint meant to soothe the family had, in this home's unique orientation, dampened its drive. Feng Shui teaches the same truth. This house was aligned on an axis that called for fire and earth tones, deep reds, warm terracottas, grounding browns. Yet aqua was laid upon it, water against fire, water dissolving earth. In essence, the home wore a garment that slowly drained its strength, its vitality, its natural rhythm of prosperity. Here lies the twist. Decorating advice often says, make it yours. Feng Shui whispers the opposite, make it the house's. That reversal can be the line between constant friction and steady prosperity. So, how do you test if your door color serves the house? Try this micro-experiment. 1. Stand at your curb at sunrise. Look at the door. Does it feel alive or does it feel drained? 2. Hold a paint swatch of your favorite color against the door and watch your face for 20 seconds. Do you feel lifted or quietly dulled? 3. For 7 days, tape a cloth in an earthy red or warm brown over part of the doorframe. Track not just your mood, but the flow of daily events. Ignore this rule, and the door may dress your house in weakness. Honor it, and you may notice how quickly conversations ease, calls come through, and money lingers instead of slipping away. So tonight, take 1 minute to truly see your front door. Not the way you've always seen it, but as the house itself might be asking to be seen. And if you've tried a door color experiment before, share it in the comments. Your story might help another household discover the signal their home has been waiting to send. And when it comes to colors, many assume red automatically means wealth. Yet in Feng Shui, nothing is that simple. Because sometimes, fire doesn't warm, it burns.
Point 2. The prosperity of red is not universal. Red doors, they are everywhere, in Feng Shui books, magazines, even Hollywood films. For many in the West, red has become shorthand for luck, wealth, and bold welcome. But here's the pain point. Countless homeowners paint their front doors red, expecting prosperity, and receive only tension, restlessness, even arguments. Why? Because red is not universal. It is powerful, yes, but like fire itself, it must be handled with precision. Think of it this way. More fire does not always mean more warmth. Sometimes it means danger. Take the case of Robert and Linda, a retired couple in Atlanta. Inspired by a magazine spread, they painted their south-facing door a deep, glossy crimson. For the first week, it felt dramatic, almost regal. But soon, evenings grew heavy. Small irritations, the thermostat, the grocery bill, sparked into loud debates. Their daughter visited less often, saying, "The house feels intense." Linda confessed one night, "I thought red would bring us joy, but lately I feel like I'm walking into a furnace." What happened? The south direction already carries the element of fire in Feng Shui. Adding red, the color of fire, was like pouring oil onto flames. The result wasn't abundance, but agitation. Modern science nods in agreement. Studies on color and emotion show that red increases heart rate, raises blood pressure, and heightens aggression. Useful in a restaurant where turnover is desired, or in sports uniforms where intensity matters. But on a south-facing door, where the house already burns, it becomes overstimulation, energy that cannot rest. So what is the lesson here? Red doors do symbolize prosperity, but only when used as the right medicine for the right patient. A house that is weak in fire, perhaps one facing north, naturally aligned with water, may benefit from the strength of a red door. But a house already blazing with fire, like Robert and Linda's, needs cooling, stabilizing tones instead. Earthy terracottas, grounding browns, or even muted greens. Pattern interrupt here. Imagine walking into a doctor's office and saying, "Give me the strongest medicine you have." The doctor looks at you and asks, "For what illness?" That's how red works in Feng Shui. It heals only when prescribed with accuracy. So before painting your door red, pause. Step back from the curb at noon, when the sun is strongest, and feel what the door radiates. If it already blazes with heat, red may not be your ally. If it feels cool, dim, or lifeless, red may be the spark it craves. Use red carelessly, and it can ignite conflict. Use red wisely, and it can ignite opportunity. So let me ask you gently, have you ever felt your home heat up after a design change, even if it looked beautiful at first? Share your story in the comments. Others in our community may see their own experience reflected in yours. On the other hand, in the West, black or deep blue is often seen as modern and luxurious. But in Feng Shui, water without banks doesn't nourish. It washes everything away.
Point 3. The wealth of black and blue. Why water needs boundaries. In America, black doors are everywhere.
Luxury neighborhoods love them. Glossy black, sharp edges, silver handles. They whisper modern, elegant, timeless. Blue too has its admirers. Calming, coastal, a nod to the ocean. But here's the hidden pain point. In Feng Shui, these colors are water. And water, without boundaries, does not just flow in, it can flow out, taking your health, your opportunities, your money. The promise is simple. If you understand where water belongs, black and blue can be magnets for prosperity. But place them in the wrong direction, and it's like opening your door into a rushing river. Unless the river has banks, your treasures float away. Let me share a story. A young family in Denver painted their west-facing front door matte black. Sleek, Instagram-worthy. At first, neighbors admired it. The father felt proud. But within months, their youngest child began catching colds, then chest infections. Hospital visits became routine. At the same time, unexpected expenses piled up. Car repairs, medical bills, a leaky roof. One night, while the child slept fitfully, the mother sat on the stairs, staring at the black door. She told me later, "It was beautiful, but every time I looked at it, I felt the house sigh."
In Feng Shui, the West belongs to metal. Metal, by its very nature, gives birth to water. When a front door in the West is painted in deep black or dark blue, the colors of water, it does not strengthen the home. Instead, the metal energy of the West is constantly drained to feed the water. What appears modern and stylish on the outside slowly becomes a leak of vitality on the inside, a quiet erosion of health, harmony, and wealth.
Research in environmental psychology supports this subtle dynamic. Studies show that darker colors, while associated with sophistication, can also evoke heaviness and distance if placed in mismatched environments. Blue, instance, lowers blood pressure and promotes relaxation, but it can also reduce vigilance and energy in spaces that require alertness. In other words, context matters. Here's the guidance.
Black and deep blue shine in the north, east, and southeast. In the north, these water tones strengthen water itself, opening the flow of career, recognition, and connections. In the east, water nourishes wood, supporting family harmony and personal growth. And in the southeast, that same current feeds the wood of prosperity, turning the front door into a quiet magnet for wealth and fresh beginnings.
But in the west or northwest, black and blue doors act like water corroding metal. Children may struggle with health, and finances may slip away unnoticed. If your home already faces these metal directions, but you love the sophistication of black, balance is key. Add grounding pots on either side of the door, terracotta or stone planters, to act as riverbanks. They hold the water energy in place, preventing it from washing blessings away. Imagine pouring water into your living room with no bowl, no vase, no walls. That's what a mismatched watercolored door does. Beauty is there, but so is chaos. Use water shades wisely, and they attract wealth like a flowing spring. Use them blindly, and they may carry prosperity downstream, never to return. So here's my gentle question for you. Does your black or blue door feel like a reservoir? Calm, contained, abundant? Or does it feel like a floodplain, restless and leaky? Share your experience in the comments. Someone else may be searching for the same answer. Then there are the colors most people overlook. Brown, ochre, dusty yellow, dismissed as dull. Yet these are the shades that carry a different kind of wealth, the wealth that stays.
Point 4. The silent wealth of earth tones. They call them boring colors. Brown, ochre, dusty yellow. The shades that never scream for attention. But here's a truth very few realize. In Feng Shui, these are the tones that whisper wealth. Think about it. Red announces luck. Gold shines prosperity. But brown is the soil that holds the seed. Without it, the brightest flower dies in a day. What is the very color you dismiss as dull is the one that quietly saves you from losing everything. There was a businessman in Singapore I once heard about. He painted his front door a sleek black, modern, glossy, expensive looking. Black, of course, carries the energy of water, movement, flow, risk. For a while it worked. Money poured in fast and impressive. But so did volatility. Investments spiked and collapsed. His fortune became a wave, powerful, yes, but impossible to hold. Then, on the advice of a Feng Shui master, he changed his door. No longer black. He chose a deep earth tone, warm ochre, almost golden brown. Not flashy, not loud, but grounded. Within a year, his business stopped swinging like a pendulum. Profits stabilized. He didn't double his wealth overnight, but for the first time, his fortune stopped slipping away. His assets no longer evaporated with market winds. Earth tones became his silent banker. And here's where modern science quietly nods. Research in environmental psychology shows that earthy colors, browns, muted golds, clay tones, make people feel stable, anchored, less impulsive. Think of banks and law firms. Heavy oak desks, beige marble floors, muted lighting. They don't use neon green walls or blazing red doors. Why? Because these shades signal trust, longevity, endurance. In Feng Shui, the earth element governs nourishment, patience, and accumulation. Brown is the vault. Ochre is the storage jar. These are not the colors of gambling money. They are the colors of wealth that stays, multiplies, and feeds generations. So when you dismiss earth tones as boring, you might be overlooking the very frequency that keeps your fortune intact. Here's a gentle guidance. If your life feels like it's on a constant financial roller coaster, sudden gains, sudden losses, bring earth into your threshold. A brown or ochre front door. An earthen pot with golden soil at your entrance. Even a muted sand-colored welcome mat can signal to money, "Stay, don't rush through me." But beware, if you crave only excitement and shine, you may unknowingly push stability away. The more you chase gold without earth beneath it, the more likely your fortune is to vanish like water spilled on stone. Earth tones are the banker of your house. They don't promise overnight jackpots. They promise something rarer. A wealth that remains when the storm has passed. A fortune you can hand to your children, intact. So, next time you pass by a simple brown door, don't call it plain. Call it what it really is, a quiet treasury. Now let me ask you, would you rather be rich today and empty tomorrow? Or would you prefer your wealth to grow roots, steady, unshakable? If it's the second, then it's time to invite the silent power of earth into your home. But perhaps the most overlooked truth of all is this: prosperity is not about the paint itself, but about the direction it serves. No color is universally lucky. Only the right color in the right place opens the door to fortune.
Point 5. The most overlooked factor. Direction over decoration. You can spend thousands painting your door the so-called luckiest color. But if that shade fights the direction of your house, prosperity slips away before it ever enters. This is a Feng Shui truth almost no one talks about. There is no single color that is universally wealthy, only colors that match the compass. So when you ask, which color makes me rich, you're asking the wrong question. The real question is, which direction is my door facing? Let me share a story. A family in California painted their west-facing door a lush emerald green. It looked beautiful, fresh, elegant, inviting. But soon after, things began to unravel. The father's business deals mysteriously collapsed. Their teenage son struggled in school, and money became a constant source of argument. Why? Because in Feng Shui, the West belongs to metal, and green belongs to wood. Wood cuts metal. So every time that door opened, it wasn't welcoming wealth, it was weakening it. Think of it like music. A single note on its own is never wrong, but play it in the wrong key and the harmony is lost. Your front door works the same way. The color itself isn't bad, but against the wrong direction, it becomes noise instead of music. Even modern research hints at this. Architectural psychologists explain that the effect of a color depends on its context. Light, orientation, and environment shift how a shade feels. A warm red can energize in the dim north-facing light of London, but overwhelm in the blazing southern sun of Arizona. Context creates meaning. Feng Shui refined this principle centuries ago into the 5-element system. So here's the guidance I want you to remember. North-facing doors welcome water, black, navy, deep blue. South-facing doors thrive with fire, red, crimson, burgundy. East and southeast belong to wood, green, teal, jade. West and northwest call for metal, white, silver, gray. Center, northeast, and southwest are the land of earth, ochre, brown, sandy yellow. This is the map. The compass is your first teacher, not the paintbrush. So before you rush to repaint, pause. Ask your door where it truly faces, because painting without direction is like sailing without a map. You may move forward, yes, but you'll never arrive at prosperity. If your front door color clashes with its element, it doesn't just mute your fortune. It can turn wealth into conflict, opportunities into losses, and calm into constant strain. The truth is simple. Feng Shui is not about decoration. It's about alignment. The right shade in the wrong place is like wealth trying to enter a locked door. It can knock all day, but it will never come in. So here's my invitation. Next time you stand at your threshold, don't just admire the paint. Pull out a compass, see where your door truly points, and only then choose the color that will not just decorate your house, but direct prosperity straight into it.
Let's pause and gather what we've learned. A front door is not just decoration, it is the mouth of qi. We saw that the right color is not your favorite shade, but the one that serves your house. Red can bring prosperity or conflict, depending on direction. Black and blue carry power only when water has banks. Earth tones, though quiet, preserve wealth like a vault. And in the end, it is direction, not decoration, that decides whether fortune flows in or fades away.
So now, take one small step. Stand at your door with a compass. Ask, does this color serve the house or fight it? If you found this video helpful, please subscribe, share it with a friend who may need it, and leave your story in the comments below. Your doorway to prosperity may inspire another to open theirs.